are trying to promote austerity. Here, though, the Republicans agreed to $78 billion in cuts to the Defense Department. Last fall. They agreed to this thing, you know, if the super committee, quack, quack, quack. They said, fine, we'll do this, House, Senate, both. Now they want to relitigate this. And not only that, they want to pull $379 billion out of unemployment benefits, food stamp programs, and health insurance programs for working class and poor people in the United States in order to keep funding level or even raise funding for the millionaires and billionaires in the defense industry. They want to build more mansions in Virginia so that and take the money out of the mouths of poor people.
And the poor people, though, do include giving tax benefits to illegal immigrants. I mean, they're cutting those back as well.
Oh, this is the argument that Republicans continue to make every time. They make these smokescreen arguments, like Dick Cheney would say. It's a smokescreen. Oh, there's like one illegal immigrant that happens to be qualifying for a tax credit means we shouldn't give tax credit to middle class and working class families who have children. This is the argument that you guys always make to no avail. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, Tom, we've seen double spending at the Defense Department over the past decade, and that is because we were in two wars. Now that both of those wars is wrapping up, it's time for us to create a leaner, greener, and a more agile fighting machine. And that means decreasing the amount of money spent at the Pentagon and spending money more effectively. And that's what we've seen the Secretary of Defense talk about. And in return for that, we need to continue to help the middle class and the working class continue to live in this country. Republicans want to take food out of the mouths of babies, and then when you make that argument, they get upset at you. But it's the truth.
Well, I think
Vince, how do you defend taking money out of food stamps to give it to Boeing?
I think mostly what Richard said was an absurd political argument. But what I will say is that for Republicans, this is obviously a political move. They're trying to play to an election year crowd, saying, hey, look, we're focusing on cuts. Hey, look, we're going to protect defense.
I think they're trying to play to their big donors.
If you're going to reasonably approach this from a bipartisan standpoint, and I think from just any logical standpoint, it's clear that defense needs to be tightened up. There need to be cuts to defense in order to make it more efficient.
The Republicans aren't doing that. They want to cut money from unemployment benefits.
But look,
a lot of those unemployed people are Republicans.
What you're talking about, though, is the sequester. If the Democrats are facing down the same issue, and they are, when it comes to Medicare and the things that will be cut,
no, this issue's not resolved until after the election.
They're going to try and do the same thing, and that is to say, hear me out. That is to say, they will seek defense cuts and they will seek to raise taxes on the rich as a counterbalance to this. They will do the very same thing.
That's not true.
It's all politics.
That's not true at all. We have not seen one bill introduced by Harry Reid that would do that. Well, when we all walked in, let me finish. We all walked into this saying we will do cuts here and cuts here if the super committee cannot come to a deal. We agreed to our part of the bargain. The Republicans, unfortunately, want to renege on their part, and now the American people have to suffer because they can't get anything done in Washington.
Well, they can't renege without bipartisan support, so it's obviously not going to pass the Senate, so it's not going to happen.